Well, before we get into the next thing we were going to talk about, I do want to touch on this, um, especially as it deals with time management. We like overthink social media a lot as far as marketing for our business. And we'd be like, oh, I don't have time to make this post and I don't got time for this. And really, especially if you are a business owner of any kind, if you are just documenting your process, there's your social media content. So you don't have to try and stage something or, the whole nine. Like all of that is not necessary.
Right.
When you can really just, you're you're killing two birds with one stone. Pull that phone out, get a tripod, and record yourself doing the things that you need to get done anyway.
Right.
Document the process. So now you're being productive in your business and you're also getting the social media content at the same time. So,
Right. And on top of that, you can automate it because there are enough apps out here that you can actually do the stuff and schedule it and then forget about it. Like Canva, you can schedule it through like Facebook and Instagram. There's like business suite or there might be something else, but you can actually schedule these things and you don't have to think about it. So, Alicia was talking about, this whole time management, putting things on your calendar. She used to have a day for this, a day for that, but maybe there is a social media day where you make all the videos you need for, a month. Maybe you make 4 of them and you do it for that month. And so, but you schedule it out for, every Monday. You don't have to touch it no more, but that one day every month you need to plan out your social media, and you figure out what you want to talk about the month before, but then you go ahead and you plan it out and you schedule it. So you're only doing it once a month, but you're showing up 4 times in the month, right? Or however many times you decide to show up, but you're only doing the work once and scheduling it out. So it looks like you're doing it every week.
But what if I don't want to do that though? So like, let's talk
Don't
about
do
how we
it.
can delegate tasks. Like before Estee hopped back on with us, I was telling you guys how, I have to be intentional about the things that I'm doing because of so many hats that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
So how as new entrepreneurs, how can we delegate certain things so that we are not really working on those, minute tasks? We are really dedicating and focusing our energy onto developing proprietary information. We're doing that intellectual property. Let's talk about, the art of delegation. Do you delegate, or is that something that you struggle with?
Depends on what we delegate. I pay to get my laundry done because I don't want to do it. So, that is a time that, depending on how much laundry you have, that can take a couple hours. I hate folding because washing it, that's easy because you don't have to do it. You gotta fold it and put it away. I will pay to get it done, and all I have to, and they know how to fold it like I want. I used to work retail, so I'm very particular about how my clothes are folded. I'm particular about the things that you use to wash my clothes. So it takes some research, but I pay for my clothes to get washed, and that takes away that piece, right? That takes away that thing that I don't have to worry about anymore. So for that couple of hours that I would have to be sitting there watching these clothes like go around, I can go do something else. Or the time it takes for me to go fold all those clothes and then put them away, I can be working on my business. So for me, that's one thing that I delegate to someone else. I'll pay somebody to do my laundry.
And I bet that just takes time off of your plate that, that time can be designated for something else. Because many people share that. I'm with you. I don't like, I can wash all day, baby, okay? But it's that folding.
It's the
stuff that you actually have to do. You don't have to put your hands in there and wash them on the washboard no more. The machine does. But when they dry, easy. But when they gotta come out that dryer, right?
It's that part. Putting it away because it'll sit in that basket, and I'll just go through that basket. Okay, I'm getting better now. I'm getting better, but yeah,
I'm baskets for days. Like got bags of clothes.
Yeah, I pay for my lawn. I'm about to say laundry. I pay for lawn care. I do not do anything to my lawn. My neighbor across the street, He does several houses on our block, and Mr. Michael does a fantastic job. I own my own property, so I'm not going to be out there standing up on these sickle cell legs, baby. I'm not about to be out there trimming and cutting down trees and getting rid of the poison ivy and planting my little bushes and my flowers. I don't have time for that. So I pay for that, and that takes a load off of my plate. But even when we're talking, that's personal, right? But even when we're talking about business, I remember starting off that this was before Chat GPT, baby, because
a virtual assistant.
listen, my Chat GPT is Natalie, baby, and Natalie can get some things done for you, girl. Right. But prior to that, I remember going on Fiverr and hiring people to do certain things for me. So I did not create my own logo. I paid for that to get done. You know, when I was first starting off and I would have my landing pages, I would pay for that to get done, you know. And anything else that I wasn't really skilled at, I would just sacrifice and pay, you know, however much it costs to get that particular task done. Not only did it save me in money, but it saved me in time, and it saved me in that creative space, right? Because for me, I have to be in the mood to be creative. It's just not coming off the top of my head. And so I need to be able to communicate what my vision is and pay somebody else to get it done. So I definitely have become better at that, because your girl got control issues, baby. I would try to control every single thing. It got to be just right.
Right. And that's that thing about trying to make sure that it's perfect, right? And that's why we get stuck in it, because it's like it's just not right.
Exactly.
But good is better than not done, right? You know,
good is better than perfect.
Good is better than perfect. And at least good, you know, we'll get it done, right? But no, in that part as well. So like I paid for my executive summary, right? I had somebody write about my business. But I'm like, how do they know about my business? But I had to tell them, like you said, tell them what my vision is, show them what I have in terms of, you know, who Be Empowered Consulting is. I mean, I sound great, man. I mean, I am great, but he did a good job to be able to take what I said to him and be able to write about it. So yeah, I definitely see, you know, doing research for different schools in the area, right? I paid somebody to pull all that contact information. That's a lot of information. Listen. You know, schools, it's not just like 2 or 3 schools in your neighborhood. This is like 50, 60, 70, hundreds, depending on where you are. And who has time to then work on your business and then to pull up, you know, the contact person, the address, the email, all that? No, ma'am. So I did pay to get those things done.
I definitely had to realize, especially for me as a creative, it's like, oh, I could just do that. Like, no, at some point you have to let some other eyes touch these things. And when you're too close to the situation, so if you are someone who has a bit of a creative background like me, it is also important to delegate. Like, you will get lost in the making things, and you'll spend too much time over in the I need to create this and I need to make this look like this. Delegate that stuff, because you will be wasting time doing other things that are not income generating activities versus things that just it feels good to do, because like, oh, I'm working on my business, right? It feels good to work on your business, but no business is really happening.
Right. Lost in the sauce. Sparkles and bubbles, right? That's what we're stuck in, the sparkles and bubbles.
We don't
you wake up and you've been working on that same thing for 10 hours, ain't did nothing else, and you know it's still not done, or it's still not to your liking.
And then there's all of the other things you could have been doing, you know, that are potential income generating things, you know. Tasks are cute, right? We're a lot of us high achievers, you know, we're good with doing the little things, right? Checking off the boxes. We're good with the task. but it's the other stuff where it's also kind of that piece where this is safe because I can check off the boxes. This is safe. The other big stuff that I literally have to do to do income generating, that's scary. So, I have to be able to do as much about that and not get lost in the sauce, as Alicia said, with the task.
Y'all, Cassandra said, know your limitations and how money is worth the time given back to yourself.
Talk
and
about it
right there.
Yep.
Listen.
I have to give Cassandra 3 snaps,
baby. Okay, because the time is so invaluable. You can't get it back. Time is the one thing we cannot get back. So using it the most effective way possible is key. And sometimes it's gonna come out your pocket. But if you're doing the right things, it's gonna come back.
It's gonna come back because you're using that time to make that money. You're going to pay for it. But it's not just even the money that you get back, you worth the time given back. It's the mental space, right? Because when you're stressing over, oh my God, I have to do, like you said, Alicia has Natalie. I forgot what my virtual assistant's name is. I know that sounds bad, but whatever. She still works. She still works hard. I'm gonna have to give her a new name so I can remember. But that has helped tremendously because the thinking space of, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do, social media posts. I'm gonna name her. What's the name for her? I need to find a name of her. But let's call her, Renee right now. So let's say Renee. And I know several people named Renee, so they, if they watch it, hey girl. But she actually helps with, what are some social media posts that I can, do that will attract my audience or, be to my ideal client, right? And so I don't have to think about these things anymore. So, Renee may not post it for me, but going back to that time management thing, if Renee helps me come up with the topics, I can post them and I can schedule them if I need to. So, it takes, I can do the task, right? But I don't have to do the thinking anymore as much. And I'm still thinking about it because I'm not going to just take what Renee gives me and just put it on there. Now I need to make it sound like me. I still need to take it that gives me the skeleton. Now I need to put the meat on it. Right. And so that's where, it does help. But sometimes we get stuck in even starting the skeleton. And that's when we don't do it. And that goes all the way back up at the beginning when we talk about getting in our own way, or, where Cassandra talked about, just getting started. That's one of the challenges, right? So having Renee help fill some of that in, like I can do the other parts, right? I just need to get started.
But that's a mindset thing, right? That's and true, so like that leads us into like one of the biggest things that is coupled with getting in your own way, that mindset piece. So how can we, as entrepreneurs, how can we change our mindset? Or can you share how was the journey of transitioning your mindset? How did that benefit you in your journey as a new business owner?
I mean, point one, I'm right here. I would have never thought. First of all, let's go back some. I actually finally signed up for a program to help me grow my business. Right. There are a lot of things we do. We think we can get a lot of stuff off the internet, and we can. There's a lot of stuff you can find on YouTube. You can Google a whole bunch of things. You can watch all of these free classes. But I'm going to tell you, until you invest in yourself, your business will go nowhere. And so invest in yourself, yes, it's going to cost some money. But again, like Estee said, if you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, that money's coming back to you. Not to mention the tax write-off, but that's a different life.
Different life.
But for me, I had to finally say, Brandy, how bad do you want it? Because there are people out here doing it and have been in your shoes. Like, you're not going to find everything you need to know on YouTube. You're not going to find everything you need to know on, starting a business for dummies, or what. It's probably not even a real book, but whatever. But having
I'm sure it is.
Oh, my bad. But but reading all these books, first of all, again, who got time to read all these books when I'm supposed to be starting my business? So sometimes you need to actually invest in someone who has been in your position in order to help you get where they are going. You may not follow the exact same path, but you definitely need to invest in yourself to get the knowledge from somebody who's been there and who has surpassed where you are in order to do that. And so when I said I wouldn't be right here, like I said, Team Bay was not created from me reading the book. Like I had to invest in a program, and then you meet other people who are like-minded, because that's the other thing. You need to surround yourself with people who are chasing a goal like you, because if you are not with people who are at or above where you are, you're drowning in nothingness and you're not going to go anywhere. And so that was something I had to think about in terms of mindset, is shifting the mindset from I can do this by myself to I need help.
Yeah, that was a big one for me, especially being someone who's always been kind of independent, always been the person that everybody comes to for stuff. So when you're that person, it's hard to begin to realize, like, you know what? I don't really know how to get to this next step, and being able to admit that. And a lot of times I would see, a lot of the free things. Like I was doing that. I was looking at the free things here and the free things there. And I noticed a pattern with all of those people. They would always talk about mindset. And at first I was like, this must be the formula, right? Like it's the formula that all the gurus use. And I'm like, as I actually began to push forward in the journey, I was like, oh no, baby, this is real. Like you can't really go anywhere until you deal with the mindset, because if you don't deal with the mindset, you will be viewing things incorrectly. You'll be mad at your friends who are not your target audience anyway, but you'll be mad that they're not engaging in your posts and they're not, buying the stuff or whatever it is, but they're not your target audience. What are you upset about? It's not for them. That's why. It's not. You're not getting that response from them because it's not for them. But if we don't have the proper mindset, we're mad and we're mixing things and we're getting all emotional because we're insecure about things. Like, well, if you're my friend, you should be, and it's like, no, baby, no, it's not for them.
Yeah.
So why are you upset?